What are the three ways to get better at writing? One, and this is surprisingly counterintuitive, probably the hardest, is rewrite a novel 25 times. इससे पहले तुम बोलो Vinamra, what the fuck are you talking about? That's so arduous and so tough. One of my favorite writers, Hunter S. Thompson, he learned how to write by rewriting the Great Gatsby 25 बार. उससे होता क्या है? No matter where you are in your writing journey, bad grammar, terrible way to form sentences, or writing some research papers for your LSR college, being able to rewrite a novel 25 times. One, it imbibes the entire thought structure, plot, literary devices, everything in your head that the author has, put so much effort into making in a novel. And The Great Gatsby is a good novel to rewrite because, frankly, Fitzgerald is a master of writing these really neat little sentences that make you go like, oh my God, Kamal. But it's literally it basically forces your psyche to understand and immerse yourself in an entire world of a novel multiple times. You can do this with any book, by the way. You literally use your laptop or your computer or even by hand, तुम उसे rewrite करोगे ना, you'll start thinking like that writer. It's surprisingly hard. I mean, it looks really hard, but it's surprisingly effective. I've done that a couple of times. I've rewritten stuff that I really wanted to remember and sort of hone in my life 5 or 6 times for a bunch of essays and articles, and it's surprisingly effective. That's one thing. The second thing that you can do, which will take care of style, one of the things people often ask me is, how do you write good sentences? How do you decide what to edit out and what not? All of that comes from style guides. So in college, I used to rigorously follow the style guide. That is the Associated Press style book. That is the Associated Press style book, right? Style guide. Those are 17, 18 ke andar. There's this fat book that shows you what style, what words, what terms are allowed and what are not allowed, right? The idea of the style is, in order to break the rules, you must first and foremost constrain yourself by following a style. So in order to make your writing better, one thing you can do is, if you can, take a job at a well-established magazine or a newspaper. Times of India, Outlook, even Brunch, छोटी magazine. Because one thing that magazines and newspapers have down is they all have a style, and they have a style guide that the editor asks all writers to refer to, कि इसको देखो, हमें इस style में लिखना है. Having those constraints allows you to follow a set pattern of rules for editing, writing, कि 250 words कैसे लिखने हैं, what words will we not use, is our magazine provocative like the Rolling Stone magazine, is it trivia like the Brunch magazine. There's a bunch of different things you can do, right? But style basically apprentices you to one form of writing that the entire magazine or newspaper uses, and it makes you get the training wheels you need to, once you're comfortable in the structure, you can then break away and do your own thing, right? That's the other thing. Lots of successful freelance and practicing journalists I know, all of them have been a part of this apprenticeship where उन्होंने किसी एक magazine के साथ, or they worked with a bunch of different magazines, they picked up a bunch of different styles, and it really helped them. Make sure it's not like some social media magazine, because digital, it's hard to know if digital really has a style. I haven't seen a style. I know कि Rolling Stone के writers के पास style होता है. Style as in like वो cool style as in like they're not cool, but like even I worked like at a magazine. There was a local magazine in Faridabad called WhatsApp Magazine back in 2013, and they had a style guide which allowed me to sort of hone in about हमारी magazine की general tone क्या रहेगी. So that's really a great way to start becoming a better writer. And the third thing, very counterintuitive, is focus. The reason focus makes you a better writer is because so many of our writers today, communicators rather, are so distracted that they haven't put in the time and effort it takes to write coherent sentences, to find your voice, all of those things. मेरे पास ये luxury थी कि जब phones नहीं आए थे, when my attention span was still flawless, I apprenticed myself to writing for small magazines, editing an entire novel, writing again and again and again without being distracted, focusing on the task of writing for 2 hours at a row. In सब चीज़ों ने allowed me to really hone in, and I still think I owe a lot of my writing acumen, quote unquote, to the time when I was really focused, when I didn't have a lot of phones around me and a lot of distracting things. So because I think what happens with focus is you're able to pinpoint the flaws in your writing simply by the fact that there is nothing else you're doing. You just have one task in front of you, and that is writing. You write, you see stuff, and when you're focused, right, that's when a writing guide like Chuck Palahniuk ki book, consider this, Moments in My Writing Life When Everything Was Different, after which that's his book, right? Or Bird by Bird by Anne Lamott, or Stephen King on writing, any of those books, right? they will really start to help you because then you'll be focused. Often what happens is we take a very fragmented approach. कुछ यहाँ से उठा लिया, कुछ यहाँ से उठा लिया, कुछ यहाँ से उठा लिया, and so it doesn't really allow you to focus and like learn one style and one art and focus and apprentice yourself to one style of writing. Like for instance, I'm struggling to apprentice myself to minimal writing, which is the school of writing that Chuck Palahniuk, as you've heard in these videos, my favorite author, that's where he comes from. And it's been a struggle because I'm doing all these same things, all these other things like the podcast and the videos at the same time. So I really look forward to being able to focus because I think that, I mean, you can have a job in any of these fancy magazines or newspapers, and you can do other stuff. But the one thing that really help you stand out is the ability to focus. I hope this helps. Quick announcement, podcast with Fusi Gang, podcast with Mo Joshi, that's on my Vinamra Kasana channel, and podcast with Karan Chawla, a dear friend of mine who's a video creator. All of those are coming in the next week. Till then, you'll see these videos, and don't forget to subscribe. All that shit I'm building. If you want to work with my team, any capacity, any role, primarily right now, priority is looking for video editors. So if you are a video editor, hit me up. Paid position, will work, we'll have a blast, and we'll grow together. My email address is vkasana@bu.edu. V for victory, VKASANA @bu.edu. Link in description. Check it out and subscribe karna mat bhulna. See you tomorrow.